calling all leaders and leadership coaches. Are you ready to up-level your game and transform your teams into unstoppable forces? If that's what you're looking for today, I have 5 really amazing tools that you can use as leaders or as leadership coaches to transform your teams and create extraordinary results for yourselves. The first tool I want to introduce to you is goal and action planning. Now, you might go, hey, Ajit, I know all about goals. I know all about action planning. Well, let me reintroduce the idea to you. You see, most of us have some version of goal-setting exercise being done in our organizations. But very often, these goal-setting organizations do not have a strong follow-through plan. See, we make goals and we assume that our teams would just know what to do to be able to fulfill those goals. Well, that's just not how results are created. See, most organizations have really great goals. The leader's excited about it, the team's excited about it. But as soon as that goal-setting session is complete, most of the teams are kind of lost. How is it that I'm going to make this goal a reality? Not in context of the entire reality and of the entire company, but in context of that person. See, every person needs to be clear on what actions they need to take for that larger goal to be fulfilled. Because when they are unclear of the small actions they need to do, they often feel lost and over time disconnected to that larger goal. So when you are doing goal setting with your team, so when you are asking a larger question of where do we want to be 6 months from now or a year from now or heck 6 years from now, you want to also follow that up with a detailed action plan. Can each person on the team really see themselves contributing to that larger goal, to that larger vision? The second tool is one of those that are hard to build as a competence, but once you do, will really help the communication between you and your team, is the art of active listening. The art of active listening is your ability to really be able to be present and listen to what your team members or your clients are really saying. See, when you're in a leadership position or a coaching position, a lot of times our mind plays tricks with us. It wants us to be in an action-oriented position. It wants us to be in a leadership role and hence be active towards the solution. Well, most of the time what has been found is when leaders jump to conclusions or they try to solve the problem before actually understanding it, they usually make their team members feel unheard, unseen, and often demotivated because of those reasons. And that is why, as a leader, it's one of those skills that you really want to develop. If you can really be present with your team members, if you can listen to really what they're saying, you'll find that you'll actually be able to get through your team members a lot better when you actually communicate back, when you do make a suggestion, when you do take the opportunity to ask more questions, because you have a broader understanding of what the person is actually saying versus your assumption of what they may be saying. Active listening is one of those skills that once you develop, you'll find also betters your relationship with anybody that you may be around. So if that's one of those things that you haven't really practiced much, you haven't really paid much attention to, my invitation would be, go ahead and put some effort towards really listening to your clients, to your team members. Which brings me to the third tool. The third tool is strengths-based coaching. See, a lot of times our society is set up in a way where we are asked to work on our weaknesses. We have always been told, well, that's not something that you're good at, so maybe focus some attention on it. While that is a needed approach in the schooling system a little bit, it's not really how life works. Life actually is about utilizing our strengths and capitalizing on them even more. There might be some weaknesses that you may want to work on over a course of time, but to really be able to get the most out of your career, to be able to get the greatest work out of you, you actually want to work on and build on your strengths. So strengths-based coaching really focuses the attention of really identifying the strengths of the person and then working with them to create further momentum, have further tasks aligned to those strengths. Instead of trying to build on some weakness, you're actually capitalizing on your strengths. The fourth coaching tool that you need in your belt as a leader is conflict resolution and mediation. You see, very often you would find in teams that you are in some kind of conflict. There is disagreements, there's different perspectives, and that can lead to disagreements and that can lead to conflicts, which is why as a leader, you want to put some attention in really understanding how could you help resolve such conflicts? How could you really mediate when two people can't see eye to eye? This ability of yours to be able to resolve conflicts, to be able to mediate when really there is a conflict or a disagreement going in, you will see will become vital for your success as a leader and as a leadership coach. That brings me to the final tool. This is a tool that is foundational for a team success, for a leader's success, and that is continuous learning and development. Very often, because of the busyness of our work, because of the crazy amount of things that we are to achieve every single day, especially in a professional environment, the stressors take away from the opportunity to really invest our time in learning and development. And often, the learning and development is kind of an afterthought. But learning and development is also the fundamental reason for a team to become successful. What they're learning, how they're developing, how they're growing from who they are to who they want it to be, and what is required of them to create the outcomes they have set themselves out for as a team. So it's important for you as a leader to sit down with each individual and as a team to really come up with what is the learning plan, what is the development plan, what are some of the skills that we are focusing on, what are some of the ideas that we need to pursue, what are some of the trainings that we need to go to so we could stay abreast with the changing times and, more importantly, stay abreast to the goals that we may have set. If you've given any attention to coaching in your life or attention to your personal growth in life, you may have noticed that all of your growth is preceded by some kind of mental breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough, a habit breakthrough, something that shifted in you that caused that growth to really happen. I know from personal experience that every single time I grew as an individual, my business growth followed. Every time I grew as a leader, my team became stronger. Every time I grew as a person, my life got better. And through that personal experience and through the experience of working with a lot of leaders, a lot of companies, I can guarantee that a company that is successful and is going to be successful in the future is a company that focuses on personal development or people development within the organization. Because when people develop, they are more adaptable. They can actually learn and be with change instead of resisting the change. They are more adapt to the world that changes. They're more available to growth. They see more possibilities than challenges. So these are 5 easy but incredibly powerful leadership coaching tools that you could learn. But you may wonder, hey, Ajit, I need some specifics. I need some very specific tools and strategies. Well, for that, I have this other video for you. In this other video, I give you detailed lowdown on 3 fundamental coaching tools that you can learn within the scope of the video and actually implement it as soon as you learn them. I'll see you in the next video.